how good was Cristiano Ronaldo actually?
And then Ronaldo! What a goal by Cristiano!
I think he's got that football intelligence. I think he's a student of the game. He's always wanting to learn, even now he's always wanting to, and he's also got the international goals. His record at international level obviously is fantastic.
Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just become one of football's greatest players. He became one of the most relentless forces the sport has ever seen.
You talk about doing it maybe for one season. This man, he does it season in, season out. You know, for some reason, some people don't particularly seem to like, oh, would you have the debate? Would you pick Messi? Would you pick Ronaldo? But he is going to be one of the greatest players ever, and he's certainly of his generation.
This is a player with over 900 career goals.
I'm the most goal scorer in the world history. I will put the level even high. My challenge is to be 1,000.
Anyone that knows me knows how much I love Cristiano Ronaldo. I love Messi, who wouldn't? But for me, Cristiano Ronaldo has done it in every single league he's played in. Real Madrid with Spain, Juventus, Italy, Manchester United. I just think some people just don't give him the respect he deserves, and I don't know what more he can do.
A player who won league titles in England, Spain and Italy. A player with 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, a European Championship with Portugal, and a scoring record in the Champions League that still feels almost untouchable. On paper, that already sounds like one of the most complete careers football has ever seen. But the truth is, Ronaldo was never just about trophies or numbers. He was about pressure. He was about impact. He was about turning football into a test of endurance, ambition, and elite-level obsession. He did not just want to win matches, he wanted to dominate eras.
I do not as Ronaldo. I feel like when you're that great, you can't speak on him, man. You just got to let the man be great. Do you know what I mean? As much as, if there's been a bit of a fuss, but that's a goal. You got to let the goats be the goats, you know what I mean?
And yet, for so long, people still questioned him. Was he too obsessed with goals? Was he less naturally gifted than Messi? Did he rely too much on athleticism, movement and finishing rather than pure control of the game?
And his first thought was to entertain, and we knew that with him in our team, if he had end product, we had a far better chance of being successful. So, to say a better word, we were kicking it out of him, the entertainment factor, to get the actual end product, the goals and the assists. And
why did some people see him as a machine more than an artist? And when the debate turned to who was truly the greatest, why was Ronaldo so often admired but still treated by some as the second name in the conversation?
Who is the best player ever?
Lionel Messi.
Of course, Messi.
I think Messi is one of a kind.
That is what makes Cristiano Ronaldo such a fascinating case. Because when you really study his career, you realise this was not just a superstar collecting goals. This was self-invention, evolution, mentality, and competitive violence stretched across nearly 2 decades at the top of the game.
He's a guy who's been consistent for the last 10 years, I suppose, and he's an example for all the young players coming up.
As I mentioned, I think today, no doubt, is the best player, the best scorer player, the best forward is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's story starts with rawness, not perfection. As a young boy in Madeira, he was clearly gifted, but the version that arrived at Sporting was not yet the polished icon the world would later know. He was skinny, explosive, flashy, and full of confidence, but also chaotic. There was obvious talent in the dribbling, the speed, the boldness, and the hunger to embarrass defenders, but there was still a gap between potential and greatness. He looked like a future star, not yet a future all-time legend.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Ainda bem jogado por Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's not natural ability for Ronaldo. As brilliant as he is, I think it's just sheer hard work, determination, desire, today for the goal. Courage, he's got a lot of courage, wants to get in there, he's brave. I've said it before, the guy's a genius.
So you put him slightly above Messi today,
I think his form at the moment, over the last few months, the way he started the World Cup, I'd have him ahead of Messi, and I never thought I'd say that because I love Messi as well.
Then Manchester United saw him, signed him, and placed him inside one of the most demanding environments in world football. The first version of Ronaldo was pure electricity. He was a winger who played with arrogance, speed, tricks, and constant aggression. This was the Ronaldo of stepovers, isolated duels, and that obsessive desire to beat one more defender even when the simple pass was available. He was exciting, dangerous, and unforgettable to watch, but also frustrating at times. There were moments when it felt like the talent was ahead of the decision-making. The body was there, the confidence was there, the explosion was there, but the efficiency was not fully there yet.
No, I think there are 3 phases to his career. So the first couple of years at United, where he scored 6 goals in his first year, 9 goals, you were tolerating him in a way, because I'd been used to having a person playing in front as a right back, and David Beckham had a great relationship. I knew where he was going to be, tucked him when the ball was on the other side, he'd make sure he'd double up. Cristiano Ronaldo did none of those things. He never complied with the defensive structure of the team. So actually you were tolerating him from a defensive point of view, and then in an attacking point of view he was erratic. And all of a sudden, after a couple of years, the numbers came. So all of a sudden when he switches over to the left wing or goes to centre forward or doesn't track back, the numbers: 30 goals, 20 assists, 40 goals, 25 assists, and you can tolerate anything. So he went from being somebody who was frustrating to someone who's absolutely exceptional, and then continued.
But early Ronaldo, as frightening as he already looked, was still not the final form. That is important, because one of the biggest truths about Cristiano Ronaldo is that he was built, not discovered.
I think that they are both amazing. We are talking about 2 of the best players, not just in the world, in the history of this sport. I always said that Messi has some talent that no one has. Cristiano Ronaldo is such a different player. They are very different. He's really tall, strong. He's really complete. He can do everything. Can do goals with the head, free kicks, penalties, take one-on-one. For me, Messi is not human, and Cristiano is the best of the human.
Unlike players who seem fully formed from the beginning, Ronaldo's greatness came through visible construction. You can actually track the upgrades. The raw winger became more direct. The entertainer became more ruthless. The dribbler became a scorer. And over time, what made Ronaldo terrifying was not just his talent, but the fact that he kept removing weaknesses from his game one by one. And that is where everything changed. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, Ronaldo stopped being just an unpredictable wide player and became an elite attacking weapon. His final ball improved, his shot volume increased, his movement became smarter, his body became stronger. Suddenly, he was not just beating fullbacks on the wing, he was arriving in central areas, attacking crosses, shooting from range, scoring free kicks, and carrying himself like the most dangerous player on the pitch. By the 2007 to 2008 season, he was no longer just a brilliant young winger, he was the best player in the world. That period is where the argument for Ronaldo's first peak really comes alive. He scored 42 goals in all competitions that season, won the Ballon d'Or, helped Manchester United win the Premier League and the Champions League, and showed that he could combine flair with ruthless end product. But even that version of Ronaldo was still only one chapter of the full story, because as devastating as he was at United, the Madrid move would reveal the true scale of what he was becoming. This is where Ronaldo stopped being a superstar and became an institution. At Real Madrid, football saw one of the most explosive individual transformations the game has ever produced. Ronaldo went from elite winger to goal machine without losing his aura. In fact, his aura only grew. He became faster in decision-making, deadlier in the box, and more obsessive in front of goal. The numbers became absurd. Season after season, he was putting up totals that should not have been sustainable. 40 goals, 50 goals, 60 goals, again and again. It was not just consistency, it was historic pressure on the sport itself. Entire competitions began to feel like they had a Ronaldo tax attached to them. If you wanted to win, you had to survive him first. This is why so many people describe peak Ronaldo as one of the most unstoppable attacking forces football has ever seen. Because it was not just output, it was the variety of the output. He could beat you with a long-range strike, a header, a counter-attack, a free kick, a poacher's finish, a penalty, or a transition run where he simply overwhelmed defenders physically. He was devastating in the air, ruthless on either foot, and terrifying in knockout football. In the Champions League especially, Ronaldo built a legacy that almost feels designed in a lab to win arguments. The goals, the comebacks, the big game performances, the semi-finals, the finals, again and again, he turned Europe's biggest competition into his personal stage.
But then came the part of the story that his critics always return to, the comparison with Messi. Because for all Ronaldo's greatness, the debate around him was shaped by proximity. He was not just being judged against football history, he was being judged against a rival who represented a very different type of genius. Messi often looked like magic, Ronaldo looked like force. Messi looked like flow, Ronaldo looked like conquest. And because of that contrast, Ronaldo sometimes became underrated in a strange way. People would look at his polish, his physicality, his finishing, and almost treat his greatness as mechanical, as if scoring over and over again under maximum pressure was somehow less extraordinary because it looked repeatable. And maybe that is what really defines Ronaldo's greatness, adaptation through obsession. Because the later Ronaldo was different. The explosive touchline winger faded, the high-volume dribbler faded. What emerged instead was a more surgical player. He conserved energy better, stayed closer to goal, sharpened his box movement, and became even more punishing in decisive moments.
Good enough that one phase of his career would have made him a legend. But Ronaldo gave football several elite careers inside one body. He was an all-time winger, an all-time goal scorer, an all-time Champions League performer, and one of the greatest examples of sporting self-construction we have ever seen. He dominated statistically, physically, mentally, and historically.